Hi, my name's James, and today I'm going to be making a beat using Koala Sampler and some samples that I've grabbed from this vinyl record here, Past is Prologue. Let's go. First thing I want to do is go ahead and load my sample in.
Quiz Kids on parade with your favorite show. Now's the time for answers to things you want to know.
Johnson & Johnson!
I already know I definitely want to go ahead and use the split stems function for this one to really be able to separate the vocals from the instrumentation. So we're going to go ahead and hit split. Let it do its magic. So we've got our vocals here.
Quiz Kids on parade!
First thing I'm going to do is just trim that first section. I don't think I'm going to use any of the ad read sponsored scripted bit. And then we're going to go ahead, double that up because then there's another bit at the end here with our girls.
Quiz Kids Show!
Cool. Drums. Yeah, there's a lot of artifacting. What seems to really only be usable might be right at the start here. That could still be a pretty cool effect. Snare. I'm just going to keep this as like an effect snare. Enable this EQ. Get rid of some of that crazy top end. Send that to bus A because that's probably where my drums are going to go. Bass. Lots of sub-frequency information. Not a whole lot of note value. I don't think I'm gonna use the bass. I definitely want to grab these horns. Now that I got sort of like some ideas pulled from the sample, I'm gonna start off with a beat using one shots. So I'm gonna go to my samples. I might grab that for now, just it's got nice sub, big low end energy. That's kind of cool. I might actually combine those two in a moment. Snares. Gonna use 31. Let's get some crash or cymbals. And I think some of these more trashier ones. That's just like a weird cool sound I might grab. Because I'm sort of like got this sample that's more of an effect sound, I think more of that could work quite well. Alright, hats. Go some percussion as well. That's kind of cool. That's cool. First thing I want to do is combine these two kick drums, and the way that we're going to do that is I'm going to edit them first. That's cool. And then what we need to do is close that. We're going to go mic. We're going to resample the main because these two are currently going to the main. And then we're gonna say, hold down this pad, pull it up. It's now recording the main, and we're gonna go. And then that's our kick hit. I want this to be a bit more sort of bigger, roomier. So with it only currently going to bus A, what I'm gonna do is put a reverb on there. See how that sounds. So what we're gonna do then is then resample that. So again, now with all of this, I want to go ahead, select everything that I got. Just make sure that it is all now going to bus A. We're then going to go ahead and take our reverb off and put some of these more effects sort of sounds, pan them around a little bit. Let's see what tempo I'm feeling. 89. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and start creating a beat and see what kind of comes to me. There's definitely a bit of trash in there, but I don't mind that. Go in and edit bad performance. So what we're going to do is go snap. That's got some funk to it, some weirdness as well. Kind of like it. A sort of beat that I don't think I would make if I was playing along two samples. Like if I had used the chops that I got before, like the trumpets or vocals. So with that in mind, let's now go over to our brass section and start chopping that up. First, I'm gonna go send this to bus B. Actually, no, bus C. Just gonna use the EQ to clean up the sample a bit. Then let's go to our auto chop. We're gonna come into lazy. Set all my chops to choke group 1, and then just gonna go ahead and hit chop. Now that I've gone and chopped it up, there's quite a lot in there that I don't think is actually usable. What I do think is usable is some of the longer passages, and so what I'm gonna do is just go back through and edit them so they're a little bit cleaner. I'm gonna go ahead, delete all these little chops that I just don't think are gonna really work. Or just not really inspiring me. But I'm gonna go ahead, duplicate this one, because I can sort of pitch it around and see if maybe playing around with that, so like pitching it could yield something interesting. Gonna go ahead and put ping pong looping on these as well. So I've got that idea. I think I'm going to run with it. What I'm going to do is just start sort of like casually sequencing things. Bar 1 is going to be just sort of like a very small intro, just like a 4-beat ba 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 ba. And then our first section is going to be this main. So I'm going to get that in now. There's some nice variation in there, in just a very simple, I guess because the beat and sort of percussion pattern is quite busy, you can kind of have a bit more of a chill chordal arrangement, or I guess it's somewhat a melodic line at this point. The next section, I'm going to use my other two brass samples. Because there's these sort of like little trills that happen before the kind of like long held note, I want to try and get the long held note syncopated with the first beat of the bar. I'm just going to turn free on. I think that works well, and I'm going to lengthen that out, and then cool. So I got my intro, I got A and B sections. I'm going to go over to my vocals now. Along with my vocals, I've also got these gnarly sort of noisy artifacts as well. I don't know if I'm ever going to use that in this song, but might keep it just for fun. So now I'm going to go ahead and start chopping this section up. So what I'm going to do is go to tools, make mono, and then I'm going to go to auto chop. From here, I'm just probably going to mostly use these sort of like longer lines. Set those to choke group 2, hit chop. Same thing with these ones. So make mono first, auto chop. Choke group 2 as well, hit chop. Ping pong looping on for these. I'm then going to go ahead, select them all, mix, enable. These are going to bus D. Should have done this before. Go through, clean them up a little bit. You know, they don't need all that low end in there. I can probably take out some of the really high top stuff as well. So I think first thing I really need to do is figure out how I really want to use these. If I want to use them as like vocals and play them as vocals, or if I want to use them, I guess, like a chordal bed underneath the trumpet line. So I think in this A section, I'm going to use them more or less like you would a pad on a synth. So just like adding that kind of textural chordal bed. And then just going to go over here. Going to go ahead, put some reverb on there. Tidy these up a little bit. Now what I'm going to do here is that I originally made the vocal stems mono, but now I realize I wanted them stereo now. So I'm going to go ahead and actually try out the stereoizer without and with. Yeah, that gives a nice separation. And because our brass samples have now become sort of like the main melody, I've made them mono. What I'm then going to do is on bus D, put the sidechain, set it to bus A. So it's just going to pump every time the kick and snare hit. And whilst I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and put the tape delay on the trumpet. Give it a little bit of sort of movement and funkiness. There we go. Cool. Only thing that's really missing is a bass now. I'm going to go over to Bank D. I'm going to go samples. I've got this acoustic bass one shot that I could try and use. I'm gonna have to tune it to the key. All right, I think I got a bit of a bass line going now, so I'm gonna record that in. Pretty happy with that. It was a little bit sloppy, so I'm going to go in and fix some of the hits up. B section now. Again, fairly happy with that, other than a little bit of sloppy notes here and there. Nice. It's going to come in here to the bass, and first thing I'm going to do is put the sidechain on. Mainly just want this hitting when the kick does. Nice. I'm then going to go ahead and put the bit cooker on. Drop the depth down to maybe 12. Jitter, 26-ish. I'm then going to go ahead and go to the compressor, ratio of 20. Slow attack, maybe turn the threshold down a little bit. That's pretty sick. I'm going to go ahead and put the bit cooker on the drums as well. Go 16, jitter at 50, and put the clipper on. Pull the threshold down. Just going to go ahead, put an EQ on the horns just to sort of soften them a little bit. Go ahead, put the warble on the master. I think I might actually go into the quokka, put it on here, the quokka synth. I'm going to go to the presets. I want sort of like maybe a chime or a bell, like really high register, sort of that can be a bit of a lead. I'm gonna go the G-Funk Mama. We're gonna send that to bus D. So I think I got something that's a little bit sort of silly, but I think it could be pretty fun. I think that's pretty much it. I think I'm just going to go ahead and start sequencing the track. So just add some sort of variety, variation, that sort of thing to the track. We had that weird artifacty noise sort of thing. I'm going to see if putting that in certain spots to sort of like build up the energy before it sort of hits the next section could be cool. I don't know if maybe in the intro could be a pretty interesting way to open it. Yeah, why not? Why not? So I've just gone and grabbed that commercial ad read from the sample that I said that I wasn't going to use, and I've chopped it up just into 2 pads, and I think I'm going to use it a little bit throughout the track.
Welcome, listeners. Done 57 stations.
So that's pretty much it. I just need to figure out a way to kind of end it all now. Maybe I just bring this back after there. Yeah, cool. All right, so the next thing to do is to play around with the performance mode, see if I can enhance the song by using any of these effects that I have available here. So yeah, I'm definitely going to go ahead, use the cutter quite a bit, use the filter, use the reverb and the reverse a little bit as well. And then that's the track all done. So I'm going to perform it in now, record it into Reaper, and that's it.
Done 57 stations. Welcome, listeners. Done 57 stations. Welcome, listeners. Done 57 stations.